Hi everybody, my name's Olivia. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Makeup Fun with Olivia. So today I'm going to be sharing with you some quick thoughts, a mini review on the L'Oreal La Palette Nude 1 and Nude 2 palettes. And towards the end, if you're interested, I did a get ready with me kind of. So if you're interested in seeing how I achieve this look, that will be at the end of this video if you want to stick around and check that out. So let's jump right in. Lots of excitement on YouTube about these palettes, including with me, because it's the first, and let me show you what the first one looks like. Without glare, hopefully. I'm sorry, they're dirty. I have been using them and trying them out. Let me open them up and turn them upside down so you don't get the mirror. This is the La Palette 1, and it has all of the neutral shades. I'll show you very quickly the La Palette 2 with purples and pinks. I'll do some swatches for you so you can kind of see. But first, a little bit about these eyeshadow palettes. So they're the first really big eyeshadow palettes that come in into the drugstore. And I've seen a lot of reviews on it, and I found the reviews very interesting and very diverse. And I've come to the conclusion that it really depends on where your perspective lies. If you're used to using a lot of high-end eyeshadows versus being used to drugstore eyeshadows, your perspective on these palettes is going to be very different as far as pricing and as far as quality. So I find myself completely in the middle because I kind of, I live on a budget. I can afford to a certain extent, so I kind of delve into a little bit higher end, and I delve into the drugstore stuff too, so I'm kind of always jumping back and forth. So that's why I decided I'd jump in and give you my perspective on these. So the price on these for a drugstore tends to be a little bit on the higher end. They run for about anywhere from $16 to $20 per palette, depending on where you buy it. I think it's the cheapest at Walmart. I got mine through Ulta's online sale. They had one, buy one, get the second one 50% off. So I ended up paying $15 per palette. Let me show you some swatches. I'll try to show you all of them if I can. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what the first 4 shades look like. Let's see if I can do them kind of here. So as you can tell right off the bat, you kind of can't see some of them because they're very close to my skin color. Let's do the next 4. Those are really pretty. I love those. I'll do those here. So pretty pigmented, very neutral. By the way, I am cleaning off my hand before I show you the next ones. And so let's do the last 2. That's what these look like. And let's put these here. Let's see if you can see them. Those are very close to my skin color. So these are the neutrals. Let's show you on my other hand the swatches for the second palette, the La Palette Nude 2. I moved over to this side so I can use the other hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what these look like. And let's see if I can put them here. Can you see them? My swatching is really bad, you guys, and I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible. Let's get the next few. Hopefully at least you can see them on my fingers, because that's where you can see them the best. Let me try over here. And the last two are actually my favorite. The last 2 purples, and they look like this. Let's see if I can swatch these here. Yeah, those 2 are my favorite. So this is what the purples look like. This is what the neutrals look like. So my perspective on these is that they have a very good combination of mattes, shimmers, satins, and the shimmers are not too shimmery, which for me is a good thing because I like shimmer, but I don't always want a whole lot of shimmer. So the shimmer amount is very light. In fact, it's a lot closer to satin than it is shimmer, but it's still a step up from the satins. So that's kind of nice to have that variety. The colors blended really nice. As you can tell, some of them are really pigmented. They did blend really nice on my eyes. I really like that, especially because I have maturing skin, so I always look for blendability. If you compare them again to higher end, you know, my perspective is that the quality is pretty impressive for drugstore. I think it's not as nice as some higher end eyeshadows, but definitely nicer than any, I would dare say, drugstore eyeshadow I've ever tried. So they're kind of in between. They're not up here, they're not down here, they're right in the middle, which is a good place to be, especially if you can't afford a lot of those higher end ones. I didn't find that they were chalky with any of the ones that I tried, and I did try them a lot the past couple of weeks. Like I already mentioned, they did blend really well. I did find that the colors can be a little bit deceiving. Before I swatched them, I just dug in and started using them, and sometimes I thought they were a little bit lighter and they'd go on really pigmented. So you might want to swatch them first just to make sure. Or sometimes they look like they're matte, but they're actually satin. So yeah, they can be a little bit deceiving. Just swatch it before you put it on so you know exactly what you're putting on your eye. And that can happen with even higher end stuff. So I didn't mind that. I just swatch it and I know, and now I know. I did find that some of the shimmery ones did transfer. Now I have a hooded eye, I have maturing eyes, and I do have, I wouldn't say super oily lids, but I definitely have more moisture than the average person, I think, in my eyes, even with my primer. So, I tend to stick more to the mattes, which I really like in these palettes. If you just put them on the very edge of your lid, you should be okay. But, you know, depending on, you know, if you have a really hooded eye like I do, even that, when you open up your eye, you know, your lid is going to touch with that hood. So after a while, it did transfer for me. You might not mind. I don't always mind. You know, if it's just a day at work, I don't really mind that it transfers a little bit. It's only for a few hours and then I'm done. One con that I found with these palettes is that I didn't have a matte light shade. I like a light matte shade under here, and the lightest shade that we have in the Nude Palette 1, this one over here, is shimmery or satin or whatever you want to call it. Can you see that? It might look matte, but it's actually, when I put it on, it looks pretty shimmery or satiny, and I don't like that. On the Nude Palette 2, which is actually my favorite, the shade wasn't even light enough for me. So if you're a beige or a medium skin tone, this might not even be light enough for you to use under your eye. See? And it's satin on top of that. So that would be my only complaint. If you have one of those Wet n Wild's brulees, then you're good. Just use this for under your eyebrow. The only other thing that I would mention with this, if you have a big collection of eyeshadows and eyeshadow palettes, you might not need these. You'll be perfectly fine with them. These two combined remind me of my Too Faced chocolate bar. So if you're on a tight budget, you know, these are great because you have so many colors, but really the colors that I gravitated towards reminded me a lot of my chocolate bar, my Too Faced chocolate bar. If you don't have the Too Faced chocolate bar and you're on a budget, and you want to try some high quality, or, you know, high quality for me anyway, You might want to just save, not get these and get that, because those have a really good combination of neutrals and shimmers, and they're really beautiful. They're really pretty. So to wrap it all up, I think these are very nice for drugstore. If you have a big collection, you might not be too impressed, and that's why you hear some people on YouTube say, these are not that great. Probably because they have a pretty big collection and they have a lot of higher end. If you, you know, I keep repeating myself, but if you mostly buy drugstore stuff, these are going to be great. You're going to love them. Enjoy them. I know I'm enjoying them. I don't regret getting them. I'll probably use this one, probably not so much, the neutrals, but I probably will use this one a whole lot more. In fact, I might travel with this, you know, because it's pretty thin. It's not too thick. And it does come with a mirror. It's only a mirror halfway through. So it's not the whole way through. But they're, you know, they're pretty decent. Those are my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts. And again, if you'd like to check out how I did this look, keep watching. To use the L'Oreal La Palette Nude 2 because it has those purples that I love. And I'm pointing at my mirror there in case you see me looking that way. And we're going to go into under my eyebrow with that very first shade. Now, I'm not crazy about having shimmer under my eyebrow, but I really did want to stick to the colors in the palette. So I'm applying it here, and you can already kind of see the shimmer, and I'm just kind of chatting about it because I'm not happy with it. By the way, I'm using a Real Techniques base shadow brush to apply that. And then I switched over to a MAC 252 to apply that number 9 shadow, which is such a beautiful medium purple. Then I'm going into that number 10 color. Well, not yet. There we go. That number 10 color to apply it onto the outer edge of my lid. So that's a deeper purple. And I'm going almost halfway in, I'd say, into my lid. Yeah, that's about halfway in. But I'm not going into my crease. Then I'm going into shadow number 7, putting that in my crease with a MAC 224, which is a fluffy blending brush. And I'm kind of pulling that up a little bit under that number 1 color that is right under my eyebrow. I'm not going over that light color. I'm just kind of heading up that way. Now I'm going into that number 6 color and putting it only in my crease, so not pulling that up at all. And I think it wasn't dark enough for me, so I kind of took a different brush. It's a Mary Kay brush. It's a really old brush, and applied some of that number 9 into my crease to put a little bit more purple in there and give it a little bit more dimension. So I seem to be happier with that. And then taking my MAC 217 into that number 2 and using it as a transition color. I had that other color on it before, but I don't think I was very happy with it, so I decided to apply some of this number 2 on there. It's kind of a nice taupe. Then I'm taking my MAC 219 SE brush and applying some of that shadow number 1 into my inner corner. And I end up pulling this about 1/3 of the way into my lower lid and upper lid as well, because I like how it looks. See, I'm going in a little bit more deeper. Or outer? Yeah, more outer. At first I was just going to put it on the very inner corner of my eye, but yeah, I decided to put a little bit more towards the outer. about 1/3 of the way. And then I go back into that number 9 shadow with my MAC 252 again to make sure I didn't lose any of that nice purple. And I think I took I ended up not using either of those shades. I think I was going to, and then I kind of looked at it again and thought, I don't need it. I'm good. So then I just pick up my Sonia Kashuk 109 and start blending like crazy. And I think I had a little bit of that number 1 shimmer, kind of like a little sparkle there, was stuck there, I guess. So I wasn't happy with all that shimmer under my eyebrow, so I did go get my Wet n Wild Creme Brulee. Yeah, see, I'm happier with that. So there's still a little shimmer in it left, obviously, because that other color is underneath, but it's a little bit more matte, more satin. And blending that with my Sonia Kashuk. I'm happy. Now I'm taking the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte 24-Hour Foundation in number 107 Fresh Beige. I love this foundation, especially during the summer. It's awesome. So I'm dotting my face and using my beauty blender. By the way, I am really happy I caved and got a beauty blender. It just applies liquid foundation so flawlessly. It's so easy. I'm always in a hurry, so this is perfect for me. And this foundation is a solid medium coverage. I love it. I can't. Oh, and here I'm just kind of showing you I use the foundation to kind of clean up the edges of my eyeshadow. And then applying a little bit of foundation to the corner part of the sponge and using that for under my eyes. And I always put a little bit extra on my cheeks because I want to hide those age spots. Let's see, now I am going to apply my Bobbi Brown Longwear Gel Eyeliner in black ink, and I'm going to use an e.l.f. angled eyeliner brush. Sorry. I really like this brush. I can't believe how inexpensive it is, and it works really well. And of course, I love the Bobbi Brown Gel Eyeliner. Like I said, I'm always in a hurry, so this is a very forgiving and long-wearing eyeliner. I love it. I think I realized that I did my right eye a little bit thicker at one point, and so I go back and thicken out the left one. And then when that one was thick, kind of go back and thicken the right one. So you'll see that coming up here. There I go. So see how easy it is to work with this gel eyeliner. You can just go back in and thicken it up if you need to. You can make a really precise line, a really thin line, or a very nice thick line. It's so flexible. So curling my eyelashes and about to apply the Makeup Forever Smoky Extravagant Mascara. I got this for my birthday from Sephora last year in December. Really good mascara. Very lengthening, stays on for a long time. You know I'm all about the long wearing makeup. And then I realized that I forgot to smoke out the bottom of my eye. So I pick up that MAC, 219 SE, and I use some of that shadow number 6 on the outer lower lid. And then I get a little bit of the number 9 towards the inner of my eye, inner lower part of my eye. And then I realize I need to brush it out a little bit. So I kind of use the Real Techniques brush to smoke it.
eyebrows next. I'm using my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in chocolate. I used to think that this chocolate was too dark for me, but I love it. It's perfect. And my little trick is to put a little bit on my hand and then pick it up from my hand. So I'm not putting a ton of product on my eyebrows. I like them to look very natural, just kind of my eyebrows, but better. And I love this Anastasia Beverly Hills number 12 brush. It has the best spoolie ever, and the brush itself is really good too. I highly recommend it. Now I'm going to go in with my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Rockstar, which is their purple one. It's not too dark and not too light. It's just right for this look. And now my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer with my MAC 159 Duo Fiber Brush. And as you can tell, I go to town. Kind of trying to contour. Yeah, it's not perfect for me. It's all about getting it done quickly, you know, contouring, trying to make my big cheeks look a little bit slimmer. That was the e.l.f. small stipple brush, as you can tell. I love it. And I'm using, I'm applying Colourpop Super Shock Cheek in between the sheets. It's a very neutral color for me. It gives a very natural flush, which I kind of like. I was keeping it simple here. After that, we're going to start on lips with the MAC Pro Longwear Lip Pencil in Absolutely It. I love this lip pencil. It goes with so many different colors. It's kind of a purple, pinkish. It really can go with so many lipsticks. Very versatile. And today I'm combining it with the NYX Intense Butter Gloss in Toasted Marshmallow. I tried showing you, but it was too blurry. By the way, these Intense Butter Glosses are awesome, and I love this color. Very long lasting and does not bleed on my lips.
So this is it, you guys. It's a very simple, kind of smoky, I guess, just a tad bit. I think of it as a smoky slash neutral-ish, at least for my skin tone. Color is very easy to do. I kept the cheeks pretty neutral with my Colourpop in between the sheets, and a pop of color on my lips. I find that if I wear some purple, you know, somewhere along the purples on my lips, it makes the purple pop in my eyes, and I really like that. So I hope you liked it. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching the rest of the Get Ready with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and have fun with your palette if you do have it. And I hope you enjoyed everything. If you did, give me a thumbs up. I would love that. And have a wonderful weekend or week or whenever you're watching this. Bye!